I am delighted to welcome you to the Meitheal training videos. This is the third video in a series of 3 videos. This particular video focuses on post-Meitheal opportunities. We're going to begin now taking a look at Meitheal follow-up. Unfortunately, Ireland has received feedback from global tour operators and travel buyers to say that while overall we make a very good impression, a particularly good first impression when we meet these buyers at Meitheal, we are not very good at follow-up. I have a golden rule when it comes to selling, and that is there's no point in showing up to an event like Meitheal unless the tourism business decides to follow up. We need to create many connections with buyers to remind them of our tourism business offering, and each opportunity to contact the buyer brings us one step closer to a potential conversion. It needs to be understood that follow-up requires effort. Anything worth having involves working hard. You can see from the screenshot on the right the sales statistics from the National Sales Executive Association stating how most salespeople engage and follow up with buyers. If you take the opportunity to read through that screenshot, you'll see it takes a lot of gentle reminders before a buyer understands what a tourism business has to offer. So conversions simply require effort. And a conversion is the opportunity to remind the buyer of what you and your business stand for and has to offer. Let's take a look at the subject now of follow-up. We'll take a look at when and how to follow up, the potential for conversion opportunities, and the right route for following up. So as we've said, follow-up offers a gentle reminder of our business offering and the tourism experiences that we would like to sell to global buyers representing global customers. When we're thinking about the when and the how, we need to understand that when we meet a buyer at Meitheal, we should always ask them to show them the courtesy of asking when they would like to receive further information from us. Buyers lead very busy lives and they can travel all over the world, so we would like our information to land in their inbox by email at a time that's convenient for them to read it. We also have to ask how buyers would like to receive their information. You may come across the occasional buyer that likes to receive print information, in which case you may have to post that to their global office. The reality is that most of today's buyers like to receive information via email. When we ask the buyer at Meitheal when they would like to receive the follow-up information, we make a note in our diary and then we follow up on the agreed date with the buyer. There are no excuses for not following up on that date. And just to be clear, if we choose not to follow up on that date, then the buyer will interpret that our business is not easy to work with. They may even interpret that our business is unreliable. So following up when we've agreed to follow up shows the buyer that we are a professional tourism business, and that is the image we want to portray for Destination Ireland. While we would ask a buyer when they would like to receive our official business information, and we would always send that information on the agreed date, I would also suggest thinking about sending a kind message to the buyer on the day of our meeting or within 24 hours of that meeting. Again, it just allows another gentle opportunity to remind the buyer of what our tourism business is and what it stands for. You might consider writing a gentle email like the following. Dear Johan, it was lovely to meet you yesterday and I was delighted to hear that we might have an opportunity to work together. Rest assured I'll be in contact on the 20th of April as agreed. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Ireland. When we refer to yes, no or maybe opportunities, we would like you to think about asking the buyer about the potential to do business with that buyer during your Meitheal appointment. Following each buyer meeting, a tourism business should be able to make a note in their diary stating whether the outcome of that meeting showed low potential, medium potential, or high potential. A tourism business, Post-Meitheal, should be clearly able to identify where the best opportunities are for them to achieve conversions and revenue from the global markets via travel buyers for their businesses. Let's just say the buyer responds that they don't think your tourism business is the right match for their needs. There is no need to be overwhelmed by that comment or to even feel disappointed. The reality is there are lots of global buyers, and it's very important to find the buyers that are a right match for your tourism business. I would just emphasize that it's very important to remain professional and polite, even with a buyer who has no opportunities for your business. It is most important that we never close a door. You never know when an opportunity might arise again in the future. So for me, in a scenario like that, I might consider writing an email like the following. Dear Johan, it was lovely to meet you at Meitheal. It's a pity there does not seem to be an opportunity for us to work together at present. However, let's keep in contact, and perhaps another opportunity might arise sometime in the future. If I can ever assist you, please do not hesitate to let me know. If the buyer responds that there is a high likelihood that they will do business with you and your tourism business, then show that you are delighted. The reality is that buyers like to do business with passionate people. So it would be important to show that you are really happy to have an opportunity to engage with them. In that case, I might write an email something like the following. Dear Johan, it was lovely to meet you at Meitheal, and I was delighted to hear that you feel we'll soon have an opportunity to work together. I enclose our information as agreed. If you need anything further, please do not hesitate to let me know. I will call you in a couple of days to make sure you have everything you need. In the case of a high business potential scenario, we want to let the buyer know that we are really open to doing business with them. And in this case, it is very important to set up a sequence of gentle communications with the buyers that will lead us to a conversion, that will lead us toward global travel customers coming to experience our tourism business. When we are following up, it is also important to establish the right route for follow-up. Every time we meet a buyer, we always assess the business potential for them to work with us, and we always assess how they contract with Ireland tourism businesses. We would ask the question, can I ask, do you contract directly with Ireland tourism businesses, or do you work in partnership with another Ireland travel buyer? A lot of global travel buyers work in partnerships with other tour operators, and often these tour operators are Ireland-based tour operators. A buyer really needs 3 pieces of information. The first is information around the business offering and the tourism experiences that that business has to sell. The second, the buyer needs information on the public rates sold by the tourism business for each one of its tourism experiences, and they also need to know the special trade buyer rates that are extended to them. The final piece of information required by travel buyers is the terms and conditions document. This would illustrate the terms and conditions under which a tourism business chooses to engage with a professional travel buyer. So we always ask global buyers whether they contract directly with Ireland tourism businesses or whether they work in partnership with another travel partner such as a tour operator. If the global travel buyer responds that they contract directly with the Ireland tourism business, then the Ireland tourism business needs to understand that in this case they have to send 3 pieces of information in their follow-up to that buyer. The first is the general business information explaining the business offering and the tourism experiences provided by that business. The second is the rate agreement, and the third is the terms and conditions document. If the global buyer advises that they contract via another travel partner, then a tourism business should always ask for the name of that partner. In this instance, there are 2 processes to the follow-up. In the first instance, the global buyer receives the business information showing public pricing only. On the other hand, the named travel buyer should receive the same business information showing public pricing only, the travel trade rate agreement, and terms and conditions. In other words, if the global buyer states that they work in partnership with another travel partner, this means that the tourism business must negotiate the trade rates and terms and conditions with this partner, not with the global buyer. So just to be clear, to have our house in order, a tourism business needs to have 3 pieces of information properly prepared and thought through before engaging with professional travel buyers. The first is the business information, the second is the rate agreement, and the third is the terms and conditions document. So what is required of the business information? Well, it's nice to know that professional travel buyers are not looking often for expensive and fancy brochures. They are simply looking for well laid out, clear information. In our business information, it would be very important to include details such as the destination experience brand that your business belongs to. In other words, if your tourism business is part of Dublin, the Wild Atlantic Way, Ireland's Ancient East, or Ireland's Hidden Heartlands, it would be important to show that in your business information. Of course, it's extremely important to include contact information so that the buyer knows where to find you. You might consider other items such as strong visuals, and it is really important to itemize the tourism experiences that your business has available for sale. Most important also for each tourism experience that we show important details such as duration and minimum and maximum numbers that apply to each experiences. If you take a look at the screenshot on the right, you will see the first page of a business information sheet created by another Ireland tourism business. As you can see, the Ireland's Ancient East experience brand is noted in the top right. The business has clearly stated its name, and we clearly understand the proposition of this business in its title: Experience an Irish village pub at the very heart of village life. There are nice images reinforcing the tourism offering. There are nice images reinforcing the tourism business offering. There are contact details and a paragraph giving insights into the tourism business so that the buyer has follow-up information to read post the verbal pitch appointment at Meitheal. This is another example for another tourism business in Ireland offering cookery experiences. Again, you will see that this business has very clearly laid out the workshops that are available for the global buyer to purchase. They have included important parameters such as minimum and maximum numbers, the duration of each experience, and the price per person. This particular business has also clearly laid out what's included in each price point. Many tourism businesses in Ireland choose to create documents such as these. They might save those documents as PDF with their public pricing, and a document such as this can be used in follow-up information to the global travel buyers you will meet at Meitheal. Here, we are delighted to show you a tourism business that has clearly categorised its product offering for travel buyers and their global customers. For your tourism business, you might consider categorising your product into general experiences and premium experiences. General experiences are often charged at a lower price point. Often general experiences appeal to the wider audience. Premium tours appeal to international customers who may have a higher budget to spend on their holiday to Destination Ireland, or to international buyers who have a special interest in the tourism business offering. Fáilte Ireland have made it so easy for tourism businesses to understand, research and prepare rate agreements which they might create for global travel partners. If you take a look at this link on the Fáilte Ireland website, you will see a rate agreement already drawn up for accommodation providers. I would really suggest that you take a look at this document if you are an accommodation provider, and you can rework it to suit the needs of your business. Again, for activities and attractions, Fáilte Ireland also have a link for the rate agreement that may suit this kind of business. Again, if you are an activities or an attractions business, I would suggest that you have a good read through this link and that you will work to create a rate agreement that suits the needs of your business. Regarding contracting and the kind of terms and conditions that might be considered by a professional travel buyer such as a tour operator, again, Fáilte Ireland has made life really easy for Ireland tourism businesses. If you take a look at the link on the left, you will find all of the terms and conditions considerations for accommodation providers. And if you check out the link on the right, you will find all of the terms and conditions that are relevant to activities and attractions. So there are really no excuses for Ireland tourism businesses in terms of creating rate agreements and terms and conditions that are suitable for global travel buyers. We will now look at Converve leads. Meitheal is an incredibly exciting world to meet international people who have the potential to bring global customers from lots of different kind of markets. And Converve is the fantastic platform that is used to establish appointments between global buyers and local Ireland tourism businesses from the Irish industry. Converve is really a fantastic resource, and I would really make sure that you inform yourself to get the very best use out of this platform. For example, did you know that Converve stays active 1 year post-Meitheal? That means you can check out the system at any time to research global buyers who've attended Meitheal. It is important to remember, though, that you would need to keep your username and password so that you can access Converve. Ireland is a really important tourism destination, and tourism is incredibly important to our people and our economy. It is really important for the Irish industry to understand that the national tourism bodies conduct surveys to assess the feedback of the global travel buyers. We really want to make sure that we show Ireland in the best light with the most positive reputation, because tourism is incredibly important to our destination and our people. So I would really recommend that you work hard at Meitheal to ensure that the buyers have a positive experience and that we therefore receive glowing reports in those surveys. On the other hand, I should make you aware that the national tourism bodies also assess feedback from the Irish industry, and this is your opportunity to express your feedback relating to your experience at this fantastic leisure trade event. It is really important that each tourism business realises that it plays an incredibly important role for the reputation of Destination Ireland. So in everything you say and you do, in all of the information that you present, and in every engagement with global travel buyers, please make sure and put your best foot forward. I would really like to thank you for watching this video. Remember that it's one of 3 videos, and I would highly recommend that you watch the other 2. I really hope you have a most successful Meitheal and that you really enjoy this fantastic travel trade event. The very best of luck.